Hi, welcome everybody. Today I'm going to share with you some of our insights and learnings on a global scale when it comes to mobile money. How we can take this market forward together, because it's a real combination of the financial services industry and telecoms. Two industries that are fundamental for GDP growth and for the daily life of billions of people. Establishing new consumer behaviors is one of the most tricky things you can do. And that's what ultimately mobile money and introducing mobile financial services is about. What is great is that we already have a global adoption of mobile telephony. Close to 6 billion people are using mobile telephony today. Out of those 6 billion, a majority, or more than 4 billion people, are trusting their service provider by topping up their telecom account. Leveraging on that global established consumer behavior of more than 4 billion people topping up their account and extending it to not just being telecom services, not just transfer of telecoms credit, but transfer of money, we believe is the biggest asset that this industry has. The trust that we've built up in having more than 4 billion people topping up prepaid accounts. When we establish new consumer behavior for financial transactions, that means opening up a lot of different options. From money transfers, both domestically and internationally, where just international transactions in itself means taking a part of the more than 600 billion US dollar market in transaction volume that we see today internationally. Another part is making the top-ups of those 4 billion accounts more efficient, lowering the commission rates by making them electronic and making it possible to make direct bank debits. Additional example is, of course, accessing your existing banking services and giving instant access and real-time availability to those 24/7. I would like to share with you some of the global success stories that we see and the impact they have in the daily life for a lot of people. Completely different business models, but still with a common denomination that the mobile phone can simplify life for a lot of people. Not just the rich people, not just people in emerging markets, not people on a global level. Take SonePass in Canada that have joined forces between all operators, making a ubiquitous service available across the nation there. Or SK Telecom that have close to 10 million customers on their T-Cash service, which makes online payments easier. You can pay in grocery stores. It has more than 200,000 point of sales, which is a fantastic ubiquitous service across South Korea. Safaricom is perhaps one of the most known success stories. That has really changed life for a lot of people, where up to 70% of the GDP in the rural areas is generating from money transfers from M-Pesa. Telenor in Pakistan is another recent success story, where they focused on the needs for people to pay their electricity bills, school tuition, and simplifying that by launching mobile money. Then they add a lot of the same services that we've seen across the other examples, but the key to success here has really been to find something that intrigues the consumer to start using the mobile phone, to get the adoption going. And here are 4 fine examples of how you get the adoption going. Mobile money at its best can really solve easy problems on a daily basis. Take, for example, you walk up to a vending machine and you don't have any coins. Then, of course, it should be possible to pay with your mobile phone. We provide such solution, and it's live already in more than 15 countries through 60 operators with Ericsson payment exchange. That can also enable a completely different type of payments, which is online. And in particular, when we speak about micropayments, through our customers, we learned that consumers are more likely to use a mobile phone for micropayments than using a credit card. And it's actually 10 to 15 times more efficient to use the mobile channel for these micropayments. Another completely different example is with the city of Curitiba in Brazil, where Ericsson, together with Dataprom, has implemented a wireless coverage on buses. And this enabled fleet management and also instant ticketing across the whole fleet of buses. In Spain, Madrid, we are running a pilot together with Empresa Municipal de Transportes and Bank Inter, where we jointly enable mobile payments and transportation access through your mobile handset that is NFC enabled. If we take a closer look at this Spanish example, it's a very fine example of an ecosystem that we together brought together between Bank Inter and EMT, where we act as a trusted service manager, which means that we can have multiple different applications running on the SIM card using the same baseline security technology. In this case, the DESFire, which is the highest cryptographic level of security, which is already approved by the card industry, by Europay, MasterCard and Visa, which makes the adoption from a process perspective in the financial services industry much quicker. It's also a fine example of the same technology being used for two different applications. One being the access to the transport services, another being paying with your Visa or MasterCard credit card, but using the mobile phone as the access point to those card transactions. Reusing the ecosystem, but enhancing it with a NFC-enabled phone that makes this easier and quicker. To make mobile payments meaningful, it has to solve simple problems in your daily life. Make it a little bit easier to open up your car, to exit the transport system, to make money transfers a bit quicker. Then this will really spread on a global basis, like the examples we've seen in the previous slides. Mobile money, mobile payments can solve daily problems in both emerging markets and developed markets. The real big opportunity here is also the connection between different markets, and where international money transfer is a real bridge, where we see that all these different payment systems cannot work as isolated islands over time, but need to be interconnected so you can enable international payments and international money transfers. If you look on where we are now, we are in an exciting phase of innovation where there are a lot of different business models are tested out and different needs are being addressed. Market is growing at a phenomenal pace, but still, if you look on a global scale, we are less than 5% that really adopted to this. So it's the big shift is still to happen. And we're going to be part in that, in particular by driving the industrialization and standardization so we can lower the cost of this and make it more ubiquitous. We also draw from our experience in prepaid, where we were fundamental in building the industries to the close to 6 billion users we are today, with more than 1 billion prepaid users being managed by Ericsson systems, where real-time management, real-time feedback to consumers were fundamental. That's something we want to bring into the financial industry as well, teaming up with banks, teaming up with mobile operators, teaming up with innovative companies that jointly can create a global scale solution. Thank you for listening today.